You feel that heat pumping up out that ground too.
That nigga DJ trying to get taken.
Got that heat pumping up out the. Yeah, we don't talk about that no more.
Right.
Come on, I just hit the line,
I'm
but
sorry. I was just
nah,
mentioning
you
because
good.
I'm like,
I just
now that
wanted
I
you to
think about
know.
it more, I'm like, this nigga could have been. It could have been bad.
Yeah, I just wanted you to think about it because I ain't tell you I was hitting it live, but that's all. Yeah, I just did it. You ain't on live before, but yeah, bro, we living in a blessed time. This heat is really a motherfucking signature to bless. Cause think about it. When they did, are you kidding it? They did the whole
I said
religion.
it's a hole in it.
Oh, that's what the hell was going on. I was wondering. When they did that whole religion kick to make sure people understood this whole concept of what I'm go ahead, or what I'm talking about with the sun and the heat and all that. Like, bro, in the esoteric, that's what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? They talking about the son of God. You feel me? The son of man. And when they start talking about the son of man, they talking about how this sun affects us. Exactly. And how that light is in us. This little light of mine. You feel me? That's why when we get in the room with certain light bulbs, we get a fucking headache. Because our body's still trying to acquiesce or connect to light. No different than we connect to each other.
Shoes. I'm trying to make sure it ain't.
Right. I feel you. No different than we seek to connect to each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's that same situation for real, bro. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Again, with this heat, bro, this heat is another signature saying, like, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more time. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more time around here. But everybody who ain't, paying attention, like your stomach, right? Wears a lot. It bears a lot of the heat in your body. But at the same time, when it comes to the food we eat and our body being able to absorb it or dissolve it, they say fruit and vegetables is the easiest to dissolve for the body. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, sound like it's the best thing for the body. Anything it can't, break down, is it really, you know what I'm saying, for the body? Why wouldn't your body be able to break down what's for it? See what I'm saying? And here it is, fruits break down a lot faster than anything. So in the time when it's hot as hell, you feel me? And you don't need much heat in your body, like you don't need no extra heat in your body, so you don't need your body having to break down no food. You know what I'm saying? Because that's when the heat gonna kick in. You feel me?
Right.
Your body turn
Makes
into a
sense.
darn oven just to break down the meat you ate or whatever you ate. You feel me?
That's why people be sweating while they eat.
Yeah, straight up. You feel me? And then here it is. Some of the things that make you sweat too is helping you break down food too, like the peppers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That should help break down food. But again, once we develop a different relationship with this heat, we can see the beauty in it though. We can see how the heat come to detox us, how the heat come to bring changes in our lives, as well as to signify that we covered. Because as long as that balance of that hot and cold is there, it's always room for life. Those are the makings of life, those two extremes. You know what I'm saying? That's low and high vibration. Um, but the beautiful thing is the planet putting off that heat too though. She not playing. She is fighting back. And like I said, that whole Rona situation was part of it. Like, that's part of the fight back. And some of us, we freaked out and weren't prepared as well. And some of us better be glad we was young because we would have been out of here too. You know what I'm saying? Given the, like, say, for instance, we had the same type of health at an older age. You know what I'm saying? In your 80s and you still got the same type of health. It's like, shit, that shit could took us up out of this motherfucker. I remember, that's crazy. I remember being the type of person that wasn't taking too good a care of myself to the point. Matter of fact, I was thinking because it's a constant thing, improving your diet, learning different awarenesses to be a part of, you feel me, to better yourself. But shoot, I remember July 2019, bro. I thought I was gonna pass away. Talking about, man. And you couple what was going around with what I was doing at the time. I caught myself trying to put on weight. Beautiful. Caught myself trying
That's
to
my
put on.
cousin.
She's beautiful. Till I said love. Um, Caught myself trying to put on weight and start drinking insurance.
Be like,
And That shit kind of backfired on me, Joe. Like
What?
drinking insurance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was drinking insurance, and then sometimes I would try to. What else was the other shit? It's like supposed to be a supplement, a
When
food
you say
supplement.
backfire, what you mean?
Like my stomach started fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I could smell my bowels through my throat type shit. Like shit was crazy. Like I thought I was literally dying, like putrefying from within. You know what I'm saying? So that was the time when I told you and I was trying to I had to go to the emergency room and such and such ain't went away with me, you feel me? So I wound up not even getting seen. But they gave me like I wanted to say some kind of high powered Tylenol or some
That was
shit.
recent, within the last 5 years.
Yeah. Some kind of they gave me like some kind of high power like Tylenol or some shit, bro, and it helped like subside some of the pain. But like my shit it got so bad, like I couldn't even really use my left leg. You know what I'm saying? Like that bitch, I'm walking like this, like trying to get around. You feel me? So, but that started from like me having tightness on my left side. You feel me? Feeling like I'm about to have a heart attack or a stroke. And then next thing you know, my stomach started fucking with me real bad. My chest, like every time I would try to breathe, it was as though I had like somebody was balling up the lower half of my lungs. You feel me? With their fist, so I couldn't breathe fully. Like, and I could feel it for real type shit. But like I said, then you couple that shit with like almost like the feeling of like a gas pain in your chest and smelling your bowels through your throat. Like, bro, I thought I was gone, G. I'm like, nah, it's over with. And my legs went out. I'm like, oh, it's over, G. But again, this 2019. This is before all that shit hit. Cause everything hit 2020.
Yeah.
You feel me?
People start taking it serious 2020.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, cause you know they started getting the first cases in 2019, like towards the end. But my shit hit me like July. You feel me? And the way I look at it, it's a crown, bro. Like you might wear your crown here, you might wear your crown on the other side. But the things that you learned about yourself and your body through going through that shit, bro, you realize it's gonna take a lot more than that shit to take you the fuck out of here. And you realize how connected you really are to the creator when you went through all of that, but you still here. And you know, too many people. Too many. I'm talking about people dropping like flies. They were dropping like the Old Testament out this bitch.
Yeah.
You hear me? They were dropping like the tea in the face of God. So when you think about that, it's like, come on, G. You know, people can look back on things and complain or, feel bad about it, but you can also look back and see where you got a crown, bro. Like, you stronger for that. You know what I'm saying? And, when they talk about immunities and shit, you done developed the immunity to certain shit now because you done been through that. See what I'm saying? That's the shit that people forget to the point they make us go get shots and stuff. It's like, bro, hold on. If I done had it before and I survived it, I just developed the immunity to that shit. That's how that shit go. You can learn that shit from watching cockroaches. You can't use the same shit on the next generation of cockroaches. You gotta use something totally different.
That's why I like that the treatments better than the actual vaccines, because the treatments help your body.
Yeah.
So they help your body. Like your body only produces so many antibodies,
Hmm.
per minute, per second. But when you got stuff in there to help, that can actually,
Like especially for people who
it's
got
like,
low counts
yeah,
already.
low counts.
What's up with the hood therapy?
And you,
Nobody.
and you got to qualify for it. We qualified for it.
Yeah.
But those,
That's what I was finna say. Yeah, you wouldn't get that to just anybody because
and it
like
helps your body. It's like you kind of like, and your body appreciates it. You know what I'm saying? So like I recommend treatments. The Evo Shield, the monoclonal antibodies,
especially if you just like you ain't like willing to go through the
because you can't even take the vaccine after you got already, like, while you have COVID.
right, but especially if you don't want to go through the second thing the doctors offer, which I think every time the doctors talk to people they say this, but they mention it last because they figure most people not gonna do the shit.
Right? I ain't gonna say C
They
word.
say the whole life change. Like
Right.
basically you're gonna have to go through a life change. You know what I'm saying? And that just means change your whole lifestyle. Everything, whatever you doing now, you're gonna have to switch that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Here. So for me, that's where I'm at, figuring out the life change. Because man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got enough chemicals spinning around in my body, you feel me? To the point I be like, some people skeptical about being optimistic. You feel me? Whereas I'm very optimistic and I think about life like on the come up all the time. You feel me? But I am skeptical about things that ain't necessarily naturally me. You feel me? Like even with smoking and stuff. You feel me? I be like, man, hold on. If we got a natural indoor cannabinoid system, I need to practice this breathing method that'll naturally make me feel this release anyway. See what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's another reason why I don't be tripping on like, cause I used to, eat certain things just cause I'm focused on protein. But I realized I got so much protein. A lot of us got so much certain things in our body that it's coming out our pores. You can see it in our nails and our hair. To the point it's like, dang, bro, you got an overload of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And not to mention, it leads you to recognize that the body naturally produces these things. And guess what it's to do? It customizes it just for you.
Right.
That's the difference. Just like when your mama made that breast milk for you, it was customized just for you. You feel me?
It was even produced just for me.
Come on now. To the point, eating anything else or trying anything else don't make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? It don't even make sense. So we get to the point we have to be like, you know what? I
Well,
gotta
that was
live it.
powerful what you said because he was relating that to Elohim. You know what I'm
Come,
saying? It's
come on,
definitely one
bro.
of those things like
Provided
he
everything, bro.
provided everything just for you.
Man, we should go one day, just walk down the street and let me point out all the food. Yeah, I seen
Not a wives though.
it.
Why he
Yeah.
gotta just be ignorant?
We should walk one day and just point out all the food on our street, on this street alone. Like, at different times of the year, these trees produce different things. Like you said, this one got flowers at different times of the year. We look at the flowers and just see flowers, but don't realize even the flowers got different qualities. The stem all the way down to the root of things. That's how, man, bro. Look at this joke. He smacked that mud just to get your attention. But look, that's how.
No, it's a wasp. He
No, I'm talking about it was a bee just smacked the top of that just
yeah,
to
they just
change your
keep
attention
doing it.
real quick.
They just
But
keep doing it. I'm like,
it's so powerful how the creator put all that together, bro. The top, the middle, and the bottom. Like that's what I'm saying. And then on top of that, plants got fruit that they bear. Like, come on, it's the gift that keep on giving. To the point you just be like, hold on, G. No wonder they got me distracted with this. But don't forget how many vampire movies we don't watch. To where it's like, oh, you ever caught a cat? I'm like, is that a
oh, we
bird
getting a
call?
cat.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we was
How
gonna get
many?
one yesterday.
But look, how many vampire movies you don't watch when they say once you get a taste of blood,
You don't
it's,
never come back.
but they tell us what? Oh, they try blood out of it. How many times you done been cooking something and you see the shit coming up out of it? You like, I thought they drained all the blood up out this month.
Okay.
You feel me?
Okay.
It's in
It's
me.
in the muscles.
Come on now. Shoot, sometimes I feel like that's the blood is the beginning before you get to the matter that you see as the flesh. So once you notice once you bleed out, it's over with. So
Right.
that's you know what I'm saying? The blood is the physical representation of the spirit. That's why they say nothing but the blood. You feel me? Come on, that's the only thing gonna cover you.
Right.
It's right there in our face, but you feel me? They got you looking over here, looking over there, to the point you can't even see. Look, you already covered. You waiting on the salvation, but the salvation is in you understanding you are salvageable and understanding what this life is. Period.
For the first time in my life, I read Ecclesiastes just recently,
Uh-huh.
and it talk about so much.
Bro,
Comes right after Proverbs. I
bro.
never even thought
That
to
book
read it.
got something in it for everybody. Just like they say they put it in different
You
languages.
ever read Ecclesiastes?
Bro, I done read that dang on Bible so many times, get in trouble. And that's what all I had to do. Read Bibles, do reports. But not to say I'm too good to read it, but I'm saying
Right.
like I'm gonna tell you this. They got something in it for everybody to the point you can just, if you like suspense, there's a certain book in the Bible for the suspense. You feel me? You can kind of listen to the Job story and get you some horror.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that was a horror story right there. You feel me?
That was a horror
Everybody
story.
coming up dead. Everybody, and then you wind up sick. You feel me? But guess what? The overall point that didn't nobody catching that one. Joe was in there stressing like a motherfucker. And Joe really represented what it spells out. Job. Running
Honestly.
around with just the trials of a job, bro, that shit would stress you out because there's certain freedoms you can't overcome at that point. Because you got a ceiling.
You got to remember who providing anyway,
Yeah, and you got, and that's what
because
I'm
it gave
saying.
it back to him at
But
the end.
that provision go to a man at that point, and a man will fail you even when they don't want to. When you got a boss,
And at that time, they had more than one wife.
come on, dude.
I was reading because I thought that Job remarried, but Job was already married. He had his one of his wives custom. It wasn't his wife. He just wanted to have more than one.
Turn on my phone.
You know.
Yeah. Hey, put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Appreciate them likes. Appreciate everybody coming through. Yeah, that was a different custom. I mean, the customs of their time.
Yeah. They had more than one.
And like certain tribes, that's just how they moved. I mean, and it was a result of like different things they was going through. Like they used that expansion of family in different angles. Like sometimes it would be the women with multiple husbands, depending on the statistic or the number value of men to women ratio. And sometimes they would do it when they was like after they done been devastated, to kind of keep families together. Like when somebody family member done passed away, and then this man got kids, and you know what I'm saying. He need help with them kids. So like it, and then shoot, if we go into like the essence of how it spans as far as the maturity with it sexually, like it started with women not being able to get pleased by women, cause dudes was just so quick, not cause she just you know what I'm saying? Just dudes ain't taking time to do what he do. Like,
Right.
bro, take your time with
It
it.
was for them.
You feel
A
me?
100%.
Yeah, it was just, man, boop, boop, boop. Oh, shit, that was a feeling. That's how niggas was doing. You
Gotta go to
feel me?
war. See you
Gotta
later.
go. She conquered. That was a quick conquer. Anybody else, I gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what they thinking like. But, and then when you get to the men doing it sexually, it was because like, trying to reproduce whole villages of people done been killed off. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get back up. Not to mention you trying to get your legacy going. Keep it
Mm-hmm.
going. At certain points in time, the bigger your family, it was like how much money you got because you able to produce more. You know what I'm saying? The more people that can work. And the crazy part about it is, bro, the reason why we crave being around people and family so much, man, because naturally, we so much more than what we are in this body that we can't be there without other people. And if that makes sense, like in this existence, the only way you can expand yourself past the limitations that come with being human is to link in with another human being.
Yeah.
So essentially, the act of working with somebody is a revolution in itself. You feel me? It's overcoming the limitation of one. Two is safe, but three is untouchable. To the point it's like, hey, one of us can even take a nap. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of us can chill right now. You feel me? If not two, depending on the work ethic of the three people involved. Cause some people go so hard and high octane, like I was telling you about you, and like you be going so hard to the point when you do hit the wall, it's a crash.
Right.
Versus you walk into the wall like shit. I've been pacing this whole time. I knew my time for a break was coming. Shit, nigga, I planned for it. You
Right.
gotta plan for these breaks, G. Otherwise, it's gonna be like you ain't got no breaks. You know what I'm saying? And you just hit
Facts.
the damn wall. But you got it though. That's the whole point of you doing what you done thus far. Every sacrifice comes with a glory moment. This is the glory moment. You having to recognize it. You feel me?
Right.
And being on the other side of, what could have been. As well as, hey, what happened? This is a triumph story. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what? We made it through this. But if you don't tell it like that, then the story gonna be told different and you don't want the opposite. So you gotta keep proclaiming the glory. You know what I'm saying? Like I told your wife, like, man, that man been uplifting you. Even though we done had certain conversations where we done been human and was like, bro, I'm trying to understand why this happened. It was
Right.
never at a point of like, man, I told her don't do this, da 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 da. People don't understand when you don't burn bread on people or you don't talk down on them, bro, they'll come around. Like people always be telling me, why you always calling people kings and queens and they ain't that, they ain't no God, they ain't this. I'm like, bro, you gotta talk highly to people so they can rise to the occasion. But if you keep on
Right.
talking low to people, they just gonna surmise and be who the hell you think they are in your eyes. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Versus I done seen killers come over my grandmama's house and act like they got some sense, G.
Right, because grandma ain't saying that.
You know what I'm
It's the
saying?
precedence that grandma set too.
Come on now. And that's the
Boundaries.
same thing with us, you feel
Right.
me? And that's why I say save our judgment. And I'm talking to
They
myself.
fighting, bro.
I knew I was hearing something going on. Save our judgment for ourselves. So we make sure we judging whether or not we setting the right example.
Right.
Otherwise, we can't say shit about nobody else. Cause what example was we setting for them to follow? You feel me? And if a nigga jump off the block, it's like, hold on, then you jump off. Like, I really want to get with some bros like yourself that got businesses and create like a rites of passage for these young folk. Cause like, we gonna learn from teaching it too though. Like, cause you know they say those who don't know, they teach. Those who do, they do. You feel me? So we didn't get necessarily a rites of passage. We got thrown in the water and had to swim. You feel me? So before the next generation get thrown in the water and have to
He
just
almost
fucking,
killed himself.
yeah, that's what they doing. The energy so strong. Our aura field is so strong in this house. Like it's like nature just beaming itself at us. But um, before we get to that point that our kids is just thrown in the water and got to swim because something adverse done happen to one of us or them. Shoot, we need to create programs for that. You know what I'm saying? When it's the so-called downtime, cause ain't nothing going on, the kids ain't of that age that you worried about. Why be fearful of it? Set a system up for success. You feel me? And that age is usually around the age when they hormones kick up the most to where they don't want to hear what nobody got to say. They want to figure it out for themselves. But hey, before then, we could have set up so many different things for them to do and experience in a safe environment to the point you already know they know how to reason. So you can darn near reason what they gonna do no matter where you let them go. You feel me? You kind of got an idea like, okay, if I let such and such go here, she know what we do as a family. If I get a good judge of the people they going with and they ain't no person trying to keep no shit going, then I know my child safe. You feel me? But when you don't know none of that, you just trying to wing it and see if you get a feeling about somebody. When you ain't never tried to listen to your feelings up until now. Ain't never tried to listen to your feelings up until now, so all of a sudden you just gonna feel something. And then half the time what we be feeling is, oh, they remind me of myself, 'cause that's the only thing you do know. But then you be hating on somebody for acting like you. Like, don't get me wrong, some people need to be stopped at the door, especially if they acting like you. And then at that point, you need to fix you too. Cause that's why your child attracted to somebody that act like, come on, G. Come on, G money. G money. You know, you look at me like I kid, like I tell jokes. These ain't no tricks. But I'm keeping my magic like a magician. Keeping my magic. Nah, that come with it though. Like I say men and women. I don't differentiate. What's up with it? Appreciate you, King. Surviving that attack, but I don't really differentiate too much between the men and women other than contributions. You feel me? Cause we could go on for days about how men ain't this or women ain't this, and then at that point all we did was talk shit for real. Like I think we can clearly see what we lacking at. Um, and at that point, like what I realized with the people like that I get in relationships with, I see where they lacking at, and honestly, I register in my mind whether or not I can be that for them. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean they're gonna let me be that for them forever, but I register in my mind whether or not I can be that for them, and it happens so fast I don't even realize it until recently. I was like, dang, that's what I be doing. Cause dang, I had to be there. Like I know the problems of my mother, right? That's the first thing I knew when I started dating. The problems that I seen my mother go through that I could understand. You know what I'm saying? So I surmised if I seen that in the eyes of another woman, shoot, I could deal with it. I understood those problems and how to help her through that, just like I helped my mama through. You feel me? At times, because I felt like all it really is helping each other through emotionally, as well as, of course, you learn over time helping each other through financially. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a physical aspect. But be that as it may, you get where I'm going with it. Um, That's something that we all have to weigh out. Because at the end of the day, we could sit here for days and have the gender war. And honestly speaking, that thing is really because of facades that we call gender roles. Like, it really ain't true. It really ain't true. That ain't how it gotta be. Um, Angry and stubborn really ain't true, and it really ain't me. But we gonna work it through though. We gonna make sure to work it through. But the only way we gonna be able to work it through is if I point at me to fix me, and you point at you to fix you. We got this though. Give me a second. I'm gonna be right back at you for my family from TikTok. You already know we at it behind the scenes on the regular, smuggler. I love you. It ain't nothing you can do about it. As we are one. And I'm so glad we in connection. Kinfolk, let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table where we break it all down. Say, what? We just broke bread right now. Nah, it's not about a gender war. Ah, that's facts. That's facts. And that's in general though, but you can run across certain men that had the same motivation as women, so I don't and then like I said, even keep on making those distinctions from certain standpoints. I don't see where we going with it. We've been doing it for a while and it ain't went nowhere. Don't get me wrong. I understand this thing is coming full circle. I understand that women are saying the same thing that men have been saying. So it's like when nobody's saying nothing when they were saying it, I quite frankly was a child and couldn't say nothing. I was respectful at all times. It's like I'm, seeking to be respectful now. But it's not necessarily left up for question whether or not I am respectful. I know I am. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's just respectfully, I feel like even having those conversations is what lead to the disrespect to me. Like, a man can't tell a woman how to be no woman, you feel me? Truthfully, because, if we going off what the definitions of men and women are, it's going to take a man to be a man and it's going to take a woman to be a woman. But quite frankly, that leaves us at a place of always feeling like there's a divide between us. And to me, that kills the whole thing of even trying to come together in a union, let alone raise a family.
You got to change this in order for me to work with
Yeah. So, and it's always going to be that conversation of submission. You know what I'm saying?
you. Yep.
And quite frankly, that conversation of submission leads to abuse. You know what I'm saying? How else you going to get somebody to submit
Right.
when they don't want to? Just like every woman, ain't going to get along to go along. So it's going to require certain things. You feel me? And every man ain't going to take no shit in that aspect. So he going to think it requires that. But me personally, I ain't playing that game. Not to say anybody playing. I think y'all serious. It's just for me that would be playing, cause I feel like that don't work for me. Um, to look at it like that, I feel like eventually it started making me look at my mother like, damn, why you do this? You know what I'm saying? Cause like again, if you only put yourself in your shoes and don't see it from other people's point of view, then you gonna always look at it like it was more they could have did, but we don't even hold the solution to it. So then it's like we really playing games. We really playing with each other's minds at that point. Again, I get it. Um, like I like how the sister did on TikTok earlier this morning. I seen a video when she was like, "Could y'all forgive us for, playing with y'all minds, playing with y'all hearts, not believing y'all was serious." Um, and that really touched me. Not going too far into it because I feel like that's what I go into the relationships, trying to show, like that I'm seeking forgiveness for me and my brothers, because even though there wasn't times that I did it maliciously, there was times that I didn't even know the consequences of my action, like how somebody else could take that and you know what I'm saying and feel a certain kind of way.
I see what you get.
Okay, bro. How somebody else could take that and feel a certain kind of way and feel like I did something to hurt them. Because some things you don't take into consideration. As a young person, you got to learn about consideration. So for me, once I learned about consideration, you feel me, through trial and having errors in my life. You feel me? I started paying attention to that. But for some people, that's a little bit, that's a little bit more difficult path for them to go on. I'm not trying to make no excuses for no one, but I'm saying in order for us to show love or develop a love for life, we got to find understanding. So I'm seeking to provide a different level of understanding. That's all. That's all. I don't want to confuse anyone that act like I don't appreciate their views. I do appreciate it, and I understand exactly where you coming from. It's just I have a different line to press than you. It's just I got a different line to press than you. And that you more than welcome to say what you have to. I mean, we can. I mean, there's a way to speak on things that make us different, rather than speaking about this as like speaking about the faults of each other all the time. You know, I can speak about the differences between men and women, like I said, the contributions, meaning the things that I appreciate from the opposite sex. And like I understand people say like some people got one track minds, but I also feel like when we keep on trying to separate certain things that are important piece of relationships or relations, relating, it be tripping me out. Like it be tripping me out. I just say that. It's like these be the same reasons why we don't have the proper intimacy because of the way we view things. We view things like they not as important when they are. So then we put focus on things that ain't as important and then wonder why we suffer as a result of it. As a result of it. Don't get me wrong, there's certain times we put the cart before the horse. Like there's certain steps that should have been taken before you got there, but we ain't gonna sit here and act like intimacy between partners is not important and the development of it. This leads to the understanding, like people say, what's understood ain't got to be said. Understanding, you feel me? Like this leads to that. But between you and I and anybody who would run across this, feel me? I appreciate all the love, support. Appreciate all the conversations. Appreciate all the well wishes. We are on the path to creating the legacy we want to have when it's all over. We on the path, y'all. And I'm grateful to be on the path. I'm grateful to even have a vision. You hear me? To have a vision. Time gonna keep on ticking though. Time gonna keep on ticking. And when the message come, are you gonna be there to listen? Better yet, are you gonna be able to capitalize and invest in it as we seek to invest in you? Because we see the best in you. Everything around you might seem like it's testing you, but it's only shaping and molding you. Yeah, right now you growing to understanding a little bit more of you every day. You understanding what you're capable of now. You know what I'm saying? What you're capable of now. But tomorrow's another day to figure out what you can be capable of then through preparation. You will see. You will see. I love you as myself, and it ain't nothing you can do about it as we are one. And I'm so glad we in connection. Kinfolk, let me see what they talking about. Let me see what they talking about. Pull up a chair. Come over here to the round table where we break it all down. Say what? We just broke bread right now. With that being said, peace within, peace out. We're gonna talk about that. We definitely gonna talk about that on the other side, Queen. Appreciate you. That makes sense though. Perfect sense.